Good morning, children. Sai Ram. Let us continue with the chapter A Day in a Country by Anton Chekhov. So be ready with your pen and paper. We have seen in the last video, this story is set in a countryside, that is, in a village in Russia. There are three characters, Foykla, Danilka and Terenti. Foykla and Danilka are orphans, poor children, and they love Uncle Terenti. Foykla is frantically searching for Terenti as Danilka's hand is stuck up in the hollow of a tree. Foykla and Terenti, they walk 1.5 miles to the Countess' copse and helps Danilka. Now what happens next? Let us see now. The thunder gradually abates and its rumbling is heard far away beyond the village. A bright patch of blue appears in the sky. Look, says Terenti. An ant heap burst open by the rain. They have been flooded, the rogues. Abate means become less strong. Rogue, someone who behaves badly but in a harmless way. When they had started to walk, it was raining heavily. Now the thundering has reduced and the sound could be heard from far away beyond the village. The sky is clearing up gradually. Terenti points out at the ant hill. Because of the rain, the ant hill is destroyed and it has got flooded. The ants have started coming out as their house is destroyed. They bend over the ant heap. The downpour has damaged it. The insects are scurrying to and fro in the mud, agitated and busily trying to carry away their drowned companions. You needn't be in such a taking. You won't die of it, says Terenti, grinning. Scurrying means moving quickly. They see the ants moving here and there. They are disturbed and trying to help the drowned companions. Terenti smiles at them and tells them not to take so much tension as they are not going to die because of it. As soon as the sun warms you, you will come to your senses again. It's a lesson to you. You won't settle on low ground another time. They go on. Terenti tells them as soon as the sun comes up, again you will be coming to the senses. So it's a lesson for them that they will not settle on such a low ground. Then they move ahead. And here are some bees, cries Danilka, pointing to the branch of a young oak tree. The drenched and chilled bees are huddled together on the branch. So now they are seeing the bees. What has happened to the bees? They got wet and they are all together sitting on a branch. There are so many of them that neither bark nor leaf can be seen. Many of them are settled on one another. That's a swarm of bees, Terenti informs them. They were flying looking for a home, and when the rain came down upon them, they settled. If a swarm is flying, you need only sprinkle water on them to make them settle. So Terenti tells the children that it's a group of bees. What they were doing? They were looking for home, and when the rain came, the swarm settled down. Okay, so he tells them that if you want bees to settle down, you only have to sprinkle water on them. Now, if say you wanted to take the swarm, You would bend the branch with them into a sack and shake it, and they all fall in. Little Foikla suddenly frowns and rubs her neck vigorously. Her brother looks at her and sees a big swelling on it. Hey, hey, laughs the cobbler. Do you know where you got that from, Foikla? There are Spanish flies on some trees in the wood. He says after the bees settle down, you can take the branch and put them into a sack and shake it, and all the bees will fall inside the sack. See how he is teaching them. Foikla starts rubbing her neck very hard. Her brother sees that there is a big swelling on her neck. Terenti tells that it is because of the Spanish flies which may be there on some of the trees. The rain has tricked them off and a drop has fallen on your neck. That's what has made the swelling. The sun appears from behind the clouds and floods the wood, the fields, and the three friends with its warm light. The air is warm and fragrant. Because of the rain, the flies must have fallen on her neck and bit her. Then you find the sun appears and floods the wood, the field, and three friends with warm light. That is, everywhere it spreads its warm light, and there is a pleasant smell spread everywhere. See how beautiful it is. There is a scent of bird cherry, meadowsweet, and lilies of the valley. So you can see this beautiful, it's a cherry tree, right? And here meadowsweet and lilies. That herb is given when your nose bleeds, says Terenti, pointing to a woolly looking flower. It does good. They hear a whistle and a rumble. A good strain races by before the eyes of Terenti, Denelka, and Foikla. The engine, panting and puffing out black smoke, drags more than 20 vans after it. Its power is tremendous. Terenti points out to a flower and says that it is a very good medicine for bleeding nose. Then they hear a whistle and a rumbling sound of good strain. It is a huge, long good strain, and the engine was letting out black smoke. It was dragging 20 vans after it. The children were surprised at the power of the engine. The children are interested to know how an engine, not alive and without the help of horses, can move and drag such weights. So they wanted to know from Terenti, even though the engine was not alive, how could the engine drive such huge weights? Terenti undertakes to explain it to them. It's all the steam's doing, children. The steam does the work. You see, it shows under that thing near the wheels, and you see, it works. So he's basically explaining how the steam engine works. They cross the railway line and going down from the embankment walk towards the river. They walk not with any object but just at random and talk all the way. Denelka asks questions. Terenti answers them. What is an embankment? A slope made of stone that rises up from either side of a road or railroad. They cross the railway line and moves down the embankment and walk towards the river. All this while, Denelka asks questions and Terenti answers them. See the picture of steam engine, and here you can see the embankment. This is the embankment, okay? Terenti answers all his questions and there is no secret in nature which baffles him. He knows everything. Thus, for example, he knows the names of all the wildflowers, animals, and stones. He knows what herbs cure diseases. He has no difficulty in telling the age of a horse or a cow. So what do you find? Terenti has answer for every question. He knows everything. Looking at the sunset, at the moon, or the birds, he can tell what sort of weather it will be the next day. And indeed, it is not only Terenti who is so wise. Silenti Silich, the innkeeper, the market gardener, the shepherd, and all the villagers, generally speaking, know as much as he does. So what do you find? All the villagers, they learn from nature. It's not only Terenti, but everybody in the village, they know all these things. These people have learned not from books, but in the fields, in the wood, on the river bank. Their teachers have been the birds themselves. When they sang to them, the sun, when it left a glow of crimson behind it at setting, the very trees and the wild herbs. Danilka looks at Terenti and greedily drinks in every word. So who are the teachers for these people? It is the nature itself, the wild birds, sun, the trees, herbs, everything teaches them. Danilka looks up to Terenti and whatever he says, he absorbs it. He wants to be like Terenti. The two of them, the cobbler and the boy, walk about the fields, talk unceasingly, and are not weary. They could wander about the world endlessly. They walk, and in their talk of the beauty of the earth, do not notice the frail little girl tripping after them. She is breathless and moves with a lagging step. Danilka and Terenti was continuously walking without stopping, and they were not tired. They started talking about the beauty of the earth, but they did not notice the weak little girl, Foikla, who was stumbling after them. She was finding it difficult to keep pace with them. She was gasping for breath. There are tears in her eyes. She would be glad to stop these inexhaustible wanderers. But to whom and where can she go? She has no home or people of her own. Tears come to her eyes. She would be happy if these two stops. But then, where can she go? She doesn't have any home. She is an orphan. These are the two people only of her own. Towards midday, all three sit down on the river bank. Danilka takes out of his bag a piece of bread soaked and reduced to a mash, and they begin to eat. So, all the three, they sit on the river bank and eat bread. Terenti says a prayer when he has eaten the bread, then stretches himself on the sandy bank and falls asleep. While he is asleep, the boy gazes at the water, pondering. He has many different things to think of. He has just seen the storm, the bees, the ants, and the train. Now before his eyes, fishes are whisking about. Whisking means suddenly and quickly. After eating, Terenti falls asleep. But the boy is looking at the water and thinking. He is thinking about so many things, whatever he has seen in the whole day, the bees, the ants, the train, and then he sees the fishes who are moving here and there on the river. Some are 2 inches long and more, others are no bigger than one's nail. A viper with his head held high is swimming from one bank to the other. So you can see in the picture the fishes moving here and there, the viper, that is the snake, moving from one bank to the other bank of the river. You can also see Terenti sleeping here and Danilka gazing at the water. Here you have Foikla. Only towards the evening our wanderers return to the village. The children go for the night to a deserted barn and lie huddled together on the straw, dozing. So what is a barn? A large farm building for storing grain or keeping animals. You can see the picture here. Here they store grain or keep animals. So it was deserted. Nobody used to stay there. So these two children, they go there and on straw, that is dry grass, they sleep. Terenti goes to the tavern. The children lie huddled together on the straw, dozing. The boy does not sleep. He gazes into the darkness, and it seems to him that he is seeing all that he has seen in the day. The storm clouds, the bright sunshine, the birds, the fish, lanky Terenti. Tavern means an inn, a small hotel in a countryside where he can stay for the night. Terenti goes to the tavern. The children sleep on the straw. But Danilka cannot sleep. Whatever he has encountered the whole day comes back to him. It flashes in front of him. The storm clouds, the sunshine, birds, Terenti, everything. The number of his impressions, together with exhaustion and hunger, are too much for him. He is as hot as though he were on fire and tosses from side to side. He longs to tell someone all that is haunting him now in the darkness and agitating his soul, but there is no one to tell. Foikla is too little and could not understand. Hunger, tiredness, and the experiences what he had the whole day doesn't allow him to sleep. He moves from one side to another. He wants to tell someone what is affecting him in the darkness and what is disturbing his soul, but there is nobody whom he can tell. He thinks Foikla is too small and will not understand him. I will tell Terenti tomorrow, thinks the boy. The children fall asleep thinking of the homeless cobbler, and in the night Terenti comes to them, makes the sign of the cross over them, and puts bread under their heads. And no one sees his love. It is seen only by the moon, which floats in the sky and peeps caressingly through the holes in the wall of the deserted barn. Danilka thinks that he will tell Terenti whatever he feels. The children, they fall asleep thinking about Terenti. And in the night, when they are sleeping, Terenti quietly comes and makes the sign of the cross over them and puts bread under their heads. He wants to make their life better than him. No one sees how much he loves them. It is only the moon who is a witness of it. I hope, children, you have understood the lesson. Now let us go to the value points. Please jot down the value points. It will help you to answer the questions. Now answer this question with reference to the context. One line is taken from the lesson. The barefoot child is pale. Her eyes are wide open. Her lips are trembling. Who is the child? The child is Foikla. What state of mind is she in? She is anxious and in deep turmoil. What does she want to know and why? She wants to know the whereabouts of Uncle Terenti, as he would help her brother Danilka, whose hand was stuck in the hollow of a tree. With this, we come to the end of today's session. At the end of the video, there will be a link. You have to click on the link and submit your answers. Thank you. Have a nice day.